Over in the pages of DC Comics, the publisher just dropped their full slate of solicits advertising the comics on sale for November. We have some really intriguing titles here that I wanted to share with you, as the Titans, DC's now current premier superhero team, is about to embark on their first crossover in the Beastworld series. Plus, Detective Comics is spinning into an event called Batman Outlaw, and we have the latest on that with you in just a few moments. I'm also really intrigued to check out some more details over on DC Comics Outsiders title. That one features Batwoman and Luke Fox, who have been really intrigued to check out the next steps of. My name is Ariko Braddock, and today let's go ahead and count down 5 of my most anticipated DC Comics over in November. But before we get deeper into the video, I want to encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button over on our video. Without further ado, here's a look over at the Beastworld first issue coming in over from DC Comics. This one is written over from Tom Taylor, featuring artwork from Ivan Reis and Miki, who also contributed this cover to the series that we have as well. Want to go ahead and read DC Comics solicitation text to get you caught up to speed with some of the context on this new Titans crossover. Clawing its way out of the pages of Titans comes an unprecedented threat to the DC universe. Superman, Wonder Woman, and Starfire are all powerless to stop the Necrostar from ending all life on Earth. The only hero who can save the world is Beast Boy? With Nightwing, Raven, Cyborg, and the Titans behind him, can Garfield Logan rise to battle an ancient evil? What will Amanda Waller do to take advantage of the situation, as millions of people are changed into rampaging creatures? Can humanity survive all-powerful heroes and villains transformed into ferocious beasts? Friends will fall, heroes will rise, and nothing will ever be the same again. Earth is about to become Beastworld. DC proudly presents the Titans' first crossover as the world's premier superhero team, with universe-shattering repercussions, brought to you by the all-star creative team of writer Tom Taylor and artist Ivan Reis. This story promises to be an epic one that sets the stage for what's to come over in the DCU. So a couple things to note here about this solicit. It definitely showcases that the Titans are the DC's premier superhero team. I think this is going to be a great chance to see Garfield Logan, Beast Boy, really kind of step up here and battle the Necrostar. Really happy that this kind of first Titans book really pushes Garfield into the limelight of DC. We also have a really fantastic creative team over on this book. Tom Taylor contributed excellent work over to Adventures of Superman, John Kent. Very excited to see him flesh out the Titans a little bit more here. Artist Ivan Reis contributed excellent work over to Blackest Night, and I'm excited to see him take on another big DC horror story like Beastworld. Without further ado here, I want to head into our next story, which is actually one of my most anticipated tie-ins over to Beastworld. This is Titans Beastworld Waller Rising Issue 1. This series is written over from Chuck Brown, featuring art and cover from Keron Grant. The kingdom, a mystical and metaphysical realm, sits at the nexus of the parliaments. A formidable new adversary, Dr. Hate, emerges with intentions to corrupt the kingdom and the Parliament of Red in the pursuit of chaos. Batwing, Vixen, Val-Zod Superman, and Black Manta are thrust together in a desperate fight for survival. They must learn to cooperate to thwart Dr. Hate's destructive plans before the wicked entity can devastate this unique planet, which represents a collective consciousness. The consciousness unifies the red, green, rot, clear, melt, metal, and gray into a harmonious realm of peace. In their struggle against Dr. Hate, these heroes and villains also face the task of unraveling how Amanda Waller's rise is entwined with this ongoing crisis. The saga features guest appearances from Nubia, Dr. Mist, Red Tornado, Deadeye, and more. So while I'm not super familiar with this creative team over on Titans Beastworld Waller Rising, there's still so many elements about this book that are intriguing to me. I always like reading about the red and the green over in Swamp Thing and Animal Man comics. Plus, I think A lot of the characters over on this cover featured in the solicit are really interesting, like the Valzon Superman, Vixen, and Nubia in the issue as well here. So very excited to see how this issue develops and how it takes on some of the extended DC Universe characters. Let's go ahead and take a look at one Marvel writer who I've really grown accustomed to, who's now switching to DC Comics. This is a look over at Jason Aaron's Batman series, Batman Offworld. In addition to some of the writing over from Aaron, Batman Offworld also features art over from Doug Mahnke. A routine night in Gotham for a young Batman proves to be anything but routine when the crime fighter is confronted with a sort of foe he's never faced before. One from beyond the stars. A universe of possible alien threats leads Batman to making a daring decision to venture alone into the far reaches of the cosmos for the very first time, where the Dark Knight will face the fight of his life. Superstar writer Jason Aaron delivers his first Batman story ever, partnered with blockbuster artist Doug Mahnke for a unique and brutal tale. So for me, Batman Offworld is really about the creative team, in addition to author Jason Aaron, who is so celebrated among some of his work at Marvel, especially with some of his recent work over in Thor specifically. But joining him is artist Doug Mahnke, who I've really appreciated for years, delivering some solid work over to the Green Lantern franchise. Next up, we have a look at this event storyline headed over to Detective Comics called Batman Outlaw. The storyline starts over in Detective Comics 1076, featuring writing from Rom V, art from Jason Shawn Alexander. We have an epic cover from Evan Cagle, and plus, this series also features some backups written by Dan Waters, featuring art from Liam Sharp and Christopher Mitten. Batman Outlaw is a 5-part bi-weekly Detective Comics event kicking off in Detective 1076. Batman, now under the control of an Asthma demon, is to be publicly hanged to atone for his crimes. With both the city and the Dark Knight under the Orgham spell, it's a lawless land, and with the Bat family out of the picture after the events of the Gotham War, who will help him? It's up to the ragtag group of Batman's greatest allies and enemies to steal him from the gallows before it's too late. So, couple things to note here about Batman Outlaw. I'm really interested that some of the Western aesthetics from the series are still going to be welcomed alongside what Ramvi is building with the Orghams and Asthma demons over in his Detective Comics run. The way that series has kind of pulled on Baroque elements to kind of bolster the Batman property has been really fascinating. I know some writers have kind of went with these ideas in the past, but there's something about this run in particular and the tone and writing that Ramvi lends to it that really creates some special content over on the page here. Author Dan Waters is another writer who is so thoughtful in some of his kind of composition and writing. I'm really excited to see what he brings alongside Liam Sharp and Christopher Mitten. This is a really talented creative team across the board over on both stories, and I think we could be in for something really special with Batman Outlaw. Next up, let's go ahead and look at the wild side of the DC Universe over with Outsiders Issue 1. This one is written over from Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly, featuring art from Robert Carey, and we have a cover up on the screen over from Roger Cruz. Never the end. A universe of secrets is about to come to light. Batman protects Gotham from evil. Batman Inc. protects the rest of the known world. But what of the unknown world? What of the ancient evils and hidden tombs and forgotten tragedies from a magic and mad science-fueled superheroic century? Using his fortune, Luke Fox launches a new organization, and just wait until you meet the third man or learn what universe-shattering secret they've discovered buried under Antarctica. Outsiders is the return of comic book archaeology, digging into the forgotten corners of DC's history to preserve, record, and better understand the true nature of the DCU multiverse and the forgotten stories that make up its fabric. So regarding Outsiders number 1, this series is really interesting because it features Batwoman and Luke Fox, two characters on the fringes of Batman's line that have contributed some really great and noir-themed stories. This one, as mentioned in the solicit, has a focus on archaeology, so I'm really curious to see how some of those elements of archaeology maybe lead this team to make new discoveries in some of DC's locations here. This is a really ambitious premise, and it's really going to take a lot of nuance in order to get it right. Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing just came off of a Captain America run that I really enjoyed here. So if some of those elements in the tone can be transferred to this Outsiders book, we may be in for something really interesting over at DC Comics. This is Speed Force #1 coming in over from DC Comics, written by Jarrett Williams, featuring art and cover from Danielle D. Nicuello. Wallace West and Avery Ho, the young speedsters, have been Titans, Justice Leaguers, and above all, members of the Flash family. As they become aware of the mysterious changes happening to the Speed Force, they race to Keystone City, where they encounter old friends, new threats, and a chance to forge their own paths. Spinning out of the pages of The Flash, the team of Jarrett Williams and Danielle D. Nicuello bring the next generation of speedsters into the dawn of the DC. I think this is indeed the next generation of speedsters, with Avery Ho and Wallace really introducing some interesting new sides of the DC universe. I really hope that just moving forward, DC continues to shine the spotlight on these two characters in particular. And while I'm not very familiar with the creative team of Speed Force, just like some of the rest of the comics that DC debuted this month, I'm still very interested to see where some of these plot threads over with Avery and Wallace pick up over at DC. So at the end of the day here, I think we have some fascinating comic books over from DC. In addition to some of the titles we previewed here, the Gotham War is also going on over between Bruce and Selina in some of DC's main Batman comics. And I really wanted to place an emphasis this month over on titles like Beast World and that upcoming storyline in Detective Comics. I want to hear from you. Are there any series that you particularly enjoy that I left off this list? Let me know down in the comments. Which of these comics are you most excited for? Interested to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for checking out 5 of my most anticipated comics from DC in the month of November. We'll be back to go ahead and do this same list over with Marvel as soon as those solicits are released. And we'll also be covering a lot of these individual comics in reviews over in November. Thank you so much for coming to check out our video, and I hope to see you very soon for some more excellent comic book content. Thanks so much, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.